Okay, I'm going to cover Travis Walton again. I've covered him before. I want to cover him again because there are probably people here that don't know who he is. He's still alive. He lives in Snowflake, Arizona. I'm going to give a method of astral projection. It's probably not on YouTube. It's one you make yourself. You make it either audio recording, or if you wanted to do it here on YouTube as a short, it goes something like, I will astral project tonight. I will have a fun experience. I will remember my out-of-body travels. I will meet up with individuals that I choose to. I will go to places that I choose to. If you, let's say you want to visit the Eiffel Tower or the Tower of London or any other place, you can include that in the audio or video. You can change it as you wish, but you have that repeat over and over again as you sleep. I will remember my astral travels. I will have a fun experience like that, and it's supposed to work. I've never personally tried that method. I just remember reading about it. It's on one. It wasn't on Astral Pulse. There's another one that I read it somewhere. I've been a member of a number of forums that are that are no longer up. I've seen a bunch of forums come and go. Now on Travis Walton. He had some type of a contract with the forest somewhere here in northern Arizona. This story's out there. You can get all the details if you want to search for him. They wouldn't be very hard to find. Now, in '75, he was working with his crew. He had a crew of maybe 4 or 5 guys. They were out there, doing something in the forest, whatever their contract was with the Forest Service. And Travis, spots a UFO up in this. This is in '75. Travis spots a flying saucer. He starts motioning toward it, and next thing he knows, it's levitating him into the ship. Now, the rest of his crew take off without him, and they haul ass through the forest. And after they get a certain distance, they stop, and they say, "Hey, wait, maybe Travis is hurt. Maybe he's out there in the forest, and we need to go back." So they drove back, looked for him. They couldn't find him. So after they'd spent, I don't know how much time looking for him, they went to the sheriff's department. I think it's either Yavapai County or Coconino County, one of those, I believe. But anyway, they went to the sheriff, and the sheriff doesn't know what to think. These guys are telling him that their boss was abducted by a UFO. The boss is thinking maybe these guys got in some type of altercation. They killed the guy. They bury him out there, and they're just using this for a cover story because it's a pretty unbelievable story. Now they all submit to lie detector tests. And they all passed except one guy. One guy that it was. I don't think they said it was lying, but it was kind of questionable. But the thought was this guy was probably consuming the devil's lettuce, as you might say, or something with tetrahydrocannabinol in there. And in lie that was still quite illegal. So they're thinking that's probably why the guy, didn't fly through the lie detector or polygraph. Now, after several days. The Travis family, I think he was still living with his mother. They get his mother or his wife, one of the two, I don't remember, but they get a call, late at night. He's on payphone. They're telling Mr. Travis, and they say, no, you can't be Travis. And finally, after a little bit, he convinces them that it is him. And he said, I'm on a payphone, but I don't know where I'm at. So he said, well, they asked him, what did you see? He described, I don't know, certain gas station or restaurant or whatever he described. And they said, yeah, well, we know where that's at. Just stay there. We'll come down and get you. So they did. They immediately took him to either doctor or hospital to be examined. And, they did blood and urine tests to make sure that he wasn't tripping on any drugs or anything. And he passed all those. And after a few days, he gave this interview, where he's talking about, he said, they had apparently accidentally messed him up, or injured him, when they were beaming him up. So they took that time to heal him, and when he finally got up, he saw the little grays, and he saw these human-looking clones. In this interview, he's talking about it and talking about. Well, he has come out and said he said he's never been sick a day in his life after they healed him from beaming him up there. So he said he's pretty sure that they did something miraculous to him. I've heard a few subsequent interviews from him, If you type, if you search Travis Walton, that story will come up. Okay, let's make this crazy world as interesting as we can. Bye bye.